Have you ever had a day where you technically did nothing wrong, but somehow, by the end of it, you feel like you wasted your entire life? You woke up, checked your phone, watched a few videos, maybe talked to someone, maybe studied for a little while, maybe did some work. But at night you look back and think, what did I actually do today? And the strange part is, tomorrow you promise yourself it will be different. You'll wake up earlier. You'll use your phone less. You'll finally work on that thing you've been thinking about. And then tomorrow arrives, and somehow the same day happens again. If you've ever felt this, you might think the problem is laziness. But maybe something much more interesting is happening. Because sometimes the feeling that you're wasting your time isn't really about how much time you're using. It's about how you're experiencing your time. And once you understand that, you might understand why an entire day can disappear without you even noticing. Time is strange. You can spend 10 minutes waiting for something and feel every second, but spend an hour doing something entertaining and suddenly wonder where the hour went. Your brain doesn't experience every minute equally. Some moments feel incredibly long. Others disappear almost instantly. And that's part of the reason modern life can create such a strange feeling. Your day is filled with tiny moments, a notification, a message, a video. One search becomes another. One task becomes another. Nothing feels particularly important. But together, these moments consume hours. That's what makes time feel like it's disappearing. It isn't necessarily one huge decision. It's hundreds of tiny decisions that don't feel important enough to question. I'll check this. Just 5 minutes. I'll start after this. I'll do it tonight. The clock keeps moving whether you're paying attention or not. And eventually, you look back and realize you weren't consciously choosing how your time was being spent. You were simply responding to whatever appeared next. But here's something important. Not every minute that isn't productivity is wasted. Rest isn't wasted time. Watching something you genuinely enjoy isn't automatically wasted time. Talking to someone you care about isn't wasted time. Sitting outside and doing absolutely nothing for a while isn't wasted time. The problem begins when you aren't actually choosing to rest. You're escaping. There's a difference. Rest leaves you feeling restored. Escape often leaves you wondering where the time went. Imagine studying for 2 hours and then intentionally watching a movie because you wanted to relax. That's a choice. Now imagine sitting down to study, feeling uncomfortable, opening your phone, scrolling without really enjoying it, switching between apps, checking the same things repeatedly, and finally looking at the clock, feeling guilty. The amount of time might be similar. The experience isn't. One was chosen, the other happened automatically. And that distinction matters, because you don't need to eliminate entertainment from your life. You need to become more aware of whether you're choosing it or using it to avoid something. One of the most expensive words in life is later. I'll study later. I'll start later. I'll exercise later. I'll work on my idea later. I'll fix my routine later. And sometimes, later is completely reasonable. You genuinely may have something more important to do first. But sometimes, later is simply a comfortable way of saying, not now. The problem is that later feels free. When you postpone something, you don't immediately experience the cost. You experience relief. The task disappears from your attention for a moment, but eventually, later becomes tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes, I should have started months ago. And then you don't just feel that you haven't completed the goal. You feel like you've wasted time. This is where regret enters the picture. You're not only dealing with the task anymore, you're dealing with the memory of every time you postponed it. And that can make the task feel even heavier. So the question isn't always, why didn't I finish? Sometimes the better question is, how many times did I tell myself I'd start later? Your phone makes this pattern especially easy. not because phones are inherently bad, but because they remove friction from entertainment. You're bored? Something is available. You're uncomfortable? Something is available. You're waiting? Something is available. You don't even need to decide what you want to do. The next thing appears automatically. That's powerful, because meaningful activities usually require intention. You have to choose the book, open it, find the chapter, start reading. With a phone, the entertainment comes to you. And when you repeat that process often enough, you can become uncomfortable with empty moments. Waiting becomes something you need to fill. Silence becomes something you need to interrupt. Boredom becomes something you need to escape. Then you wonder why you can't focus on something that takes time to become interesting. Your brain has become accustomed to constant novelty. The solution isn't necessarily to throw your phone away forever. It's to notice what happens when you don't immediately reach for it. Can you sit through 5 minutes of boredom? Can you walk without checking something? Can you study with your phone somewhere else? Can you let your attention stay in one place long enough for the activity to become engaging? Because attention isn't just something you have. It's something you practice. There's another reason you might feel like you're wasting your time. Comparison. You open social media and see someone studying for 10 hours, someone exercising every morning, someone traveling, someone building a business, someone creating art, someone achieving something impressive, at an age when you feel like you're still figuring yourself out. And suddenly, your ordinary day feels like failure, but you're comparing your behind the scenes with someone else's highlight reel. You don't see their boring days, their mistakes, their uncertainty, their unfinished plans. You see the result. Then you look at your process and feel behind. This creates a dangerous loop. You feel behind, so you feel bad. You feel bad, so you escape into entertainment. You spend more time consuming other people's lives. Then you feel even more behind. The cycle continues, and eventually, you don't just feel like you wasted time. You feel like everyone else is moving while you're standing still. But life isn't a race with one universal schedule. Your progress doesn't become meaningless because someone else appears further ahead. The better comparison is often much simpler. Am I more intentional with my time than I was before? Here's where this gets deeper. Sometimes, the feeling that you're wasting your time isn't really about time. It's about avoidance. You know there are things you want to do. You know there are things you could become better at. You know there's a project you've wanted to start, a subject you want to understand, a skill you want to develop. But beginning creates uncertainty. What if you're not good at it? What if it takes longer than expected? What if you fail? What if you discover that achieving the goal requires more effort than you imagined? So instead of facing that uncertainty, you stay busy with smaller things. You consume, you organize, you plan, you research, you watch videos about productivity instead of actually doing the work. And strangely, this can feel productive. But eventually you realize something. You've been preparing to begin for a very long time. The uncomfortable truth is that sometimes you aren't wasting time because you don't care. You're wasting time because caring makes the possibility of failure feel real. And the easiest way to avoid that feeling is to never begin. There's another trap hiding inside self-improvement itself: becoming addicted to preparing for productivity. You watch the video, download the app, make the timetable, create the perfect routine, buy the notebook, organize the desk, make the checklist, and for a moment, you feel like something changed. But nothing actually happened. Preparation can create the feeling of progress without requiring the discomfort of progress. That's why sometimes you need less planning and more evidence. Don't ask, what's the perfect routine? Ask, what did I actually do today? Don't ask, which productivity method should I use? Ask, did I complete the next important action? Your system doesn't need to look impressive. It needs to work. A simple routine that you actually follow is more valuable than a beautiful routine you abandon after 3 days. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a repeatable action. The scary part about wasted time isn't the individual hour. It's repetition. 1 hour doesn't destroy your future. One lazy morning doesn't define you. One day of doing nothing doesn't matter nearly as much as the pattern that follows it. Imagine losing 1 hour every day. It doesn't feel dramatic. It's just 1 hour. But repeated over months and years, small amounts become enormous. That's why your relationship with time matters more than any single day. The question isn't, did I waste time today? Everyone does sometimes. The better question is, am I repeatedly spending my time in ways I don't actually value? Because if the answer is yes, that's useful information. You don't need guilt, you need awareness. Where is your time going? What activities leave you energized? Which ones leave you empty? What do you keep postponing? What do you keep doing automatically? Your calendar tells a story. Your screen time tells a story. Your habits tell a story. The important thing is whether that story reflects the life you actually want. So what do? Start smaller than you think. First, notice. For one day, pay attention to where your time actually goes, not where you intended it to go, where it actually went. Second, choose. Before opening an app or starting an activity, ask one simple question. Do I actually want to do this? If the answer is yes, enjoy it without guilt. If the answer is no, pause. Third, act. Choose one thing you've been postponing and take the smallest useful step. Not the whole project, not the entire chapter. One step. Send the message. Open the document. Read the first page. Solve one question. Put on your shoes. Start. And when you finish that step, decide what comes next. You don't need to suddenly become productive for 12 hours. You need to stop living entirely on autopilot. Maybe you're not wasting your life. Maybe you're simply spending too much of it on things you never consciously chose. And that's good news, because awareness gives you a place to start. You don't need to hate your phone. You don't need to become productive every second. You don't need to turn your life into a schedule. You need to become intentional. Rest when you want to rest. Enjoy things without guilt. Work when the work matters. And when you catch yourself drifting, don't ask, what's wrong with me? Ask, is this how I actually want to spend this moment? Because time doesn't usually disappear in one dramatic event. It disappears quietly. 5 minutes here, 20 minutes there. One postponed task, one more video, one more tomorrow. Until one day, you look back and wonder where it all went. So don't wait for that day. Look at the next hour, not your entire future, not your entire life. Just the next hour. What do you want it to mean? Because you can't control how quickly time moves, but you can become more intentional about where you place your attention while it moves. And sometimes, that's the difference between feeling like you're watching your life happen and actually being there for it. This is Truthestic. See the mind, see the truth.